People, hey, so I'm very sorry I can't be with you today. I'm home taking care of my little girl, so I'm at home today. I will be there tomorrow. I didn't want you guys to miss out. Yes, there is still a test tomorrow, because what we're going to do today is I'm going to go over the entire practice test. I'll go over it question by question. You're going to hear me explain through every single question. If you have questions on any of these, like you still don't understand past that, talk with the people around you, see if you can figure it out with yourselves. Remember, you can always ask your mentors. You can always ask me. I'll be around before school tomorrow to answer any questions. Yeah, or if you're watching this 8th period, stop me at lunch and we can go over some stuff. But yeah, so make sure that you're asking questions to the proper people. So like if this is 2nd or 3rd period, and you're in mentoring, ask some questions in mentoring. Say like, hey, can I ask you a question real quick about this practice test? And be like, I didn't understand this one. Can you go over this one with me? Because all those mentors can do that. You can stop Mrs. Wolf, you can stop Mrs. Napoltz, you can stop Mr. Delap, any of those teachers, Mr. Hudson. All of those teachers would help you out, really. So anybody around could answer some questions for you. I've already told them that I was going to tell you that. So if you have any questions, please stop them and say like, hey, can you help me out with this one? The test is still going to be tomorrow. You can see me tomorrow morning if you've got questions. But honestly, if you know the stuff on this practice test, you should be fine for the test, okay? You should be getting back your sections 3.1 to 3.3 quiz. I left them out for the sub, so she can hand those back for you guys. A quick note about behavior. If Mrs. Evans says anything poorly about you, she has to write down your name. It's an automatic 2 detentions with me. Okay, so don't make me do that. I don't want you to do that. So make sure you're nice to the sub. Make sure you're following her directions. Make sure you're not snobby to her. Make sure you're on your best behavior. Treat her better than you would treat me. Okay. All right. So it's holiday day. I'm so sorry I can't be with you on holiday day. I've asked Mrs. Evans to tally up however many students participate. So hopefully she's doing that. Hopefully that's already done. If not, maybe a reminder she can do that. I'm repping my Pi Day shirt. Okay. Pi Day, March 14th. You know why? 3.14, March 14th. So I've got my Pi Day shirt. This is from 2015 where it was like 3.1415. Crazy. We celebrated at 9:26 in the morning because it was 3.1415926. I know I'm a big nerd. But I got some little props to help me along with my video. Obviously, I've got my Christmas tree up as well. We're going to celebrate all holidays together. All right, so let's get to it. So, and maybe, just maybe, I might give you throughout the video, maybe I might give you some Easter eggs here and there, maybe give you a bonus point or 2 on the test. Okay, what's that going to mean? We'll see. You'll just have to watch the whole video. I don't know. You'll just have to watch the entire video and listen for little tidbits of information. Okay. All right, so let's go through question by question. Okay, number 1. Describe the solution of 9 plus p is greater than 3 in words. Okay, so first off, we have to find the solution. So we have to say 9 plus p is greater than 3. We subtract 9 from both sides. So therefore, that gets us a p is greater than -6. And that right there, we can talk about the solutions. Okay, remember, p, that variable just represents any number. So what we can say in words, any number bigger than -6. Okay, that's describing it in words, physically writing it out in words. Okay, so number 2. Okay, Sam earned $340 during winter vacation and he needs to save $125 for a camping trip over spring break. He can spend the remainder of the money on music. That seems like a lot of money to spend on music, but I'm okay, whatever. Write an inequality to show how much you can spend on music. Then we will graph that inequality. Okay, so right there, again, the last sentence, well, maybe second to last sentence, will tell you exactly what your variable should be. So let's define our variable. Let's make x equal the money spent on music. Okay, if I do that, then I know x, the amount I spend on music, plus that $125 he's already got earmarked for the camping trip. That has to stay underneath $340, less than or equal to $340. Okay, it's got to be less than or equal to that. Okay, can I spend $350? No, I don't have that much. Can I spend $330? Sure, if I really wanted to, because he's got that money. So that's the inequality that I can set up. So we subtract the 125 from both sides. Okay, so x is less than or equal to, let me pull up a calculator here, 340 minus 125 is 215. Okay, now remember that you have to write a full statement for me. Don't just say $215. No, we have to, you reference the inequality. We can spend no more than $215 on music. That's a heck of a lot of money on music. What are you spending $215 on music for? Let's kick it off here. Let's do some. I like these ones. There we go. I'll get in the mood with my Christmas tree. Okay, there we go. Okay, next slide here. Question 3. Solve the inequality 2z is greater than or equal to -10 and graph. Oh, I forgot to graph my solution over there. No more than $215 on music. So here is 0. Here's 215. Closed dot at 215, pointing to the left. Okay, sorry, forgot to graph. You will know when to graph and when not to graph on your test by, if I give you a number line for a graph, then you should obviously graph. If I don't give you a number line for a graph, you don't have to graph. Pretty simple. Okay, so let's take a look at number 3 here. Solve the inequality 2z is greater than or equal to -10, and we will graph these solutions. Okay, this is a pretty simple one. This is just a one-stepper. 2 times z, I divide by 2 to get z completely alone. So z is greater than or equal to -5. Notice that I don't change the symbol there because I didn't divide by a negative, I divided into a negative. -10 was on the other side. I didn't move a negative. That 2 was positive that I moved. So z is greater than or equal to -5. So I have here's -5 and here's 0. We've got a closed dot on -5, and that should point to the right. Okay. Number 4 here. What is the greatest possible integer solution? Remember, that means what is the greatest possible whole number solution, right? Okay, so 2.868x is less than 24.097. So x is equal to, oh, well, I have to divide by 2.868. 2.868. Let me move this down a little bit. So x is less than, so let's figure out what that is. Let me pull up my calculator here again. 24.097 divided by 2.868. 8.402. 8.402. Okay, biggest possible whole number solution. Would 9 work? No, I've got to stay underneath 8, right? 8.4. So that means 8 would be my greatest possible integer solution. I don't have to drop all the way down to 7. I don't have to do that because 8 is still a solution, and 8 is obviously bigger than 7. Okay, so 8 is my solution. I like this. There we go, much better. All right, let's keep it going. Okay, solve the inequality. We got -9z plus 2 is greater than -9z minus 8. Okay, this one's a weird one. You want to know why? Because we have -9z minus 18 is greater than negative 9z minus 8. Look what happens here if I add 9z's to both sides. It gives me negative 18 is greater than negative 8. The variables cancel out here, and then we're just left with whole numbers. So we have a statement, negative 18 is greater than negative 8. Is that a true statement? No, that is not a true statement. That is a false statement. So therefore, no solutions. No solutions. Remember, when the variables cancel out, it's either no solutions or all real numbers. You have to decide when. If it's a true statement, then it's all real numbers. If it's a false statement, then it's a no solution. Okay, a lot of people are confused on number 6. There's no operations to do with number 6. You just have to set up the inequality. It's very similar to the ones that we went over yesterday, which is technically today for me. Yesterday with the compound inequalities. Okay, we got an airplane, has seats for 530 people. So can the plane ride with 540 people? No. Can it ride with 550? No. Could it ride with 530? Yeah. So I have to say, if n represents the number of people on the plane, it has to say underneath 530 people. Okay, the company flies the airplane only if there are 315 people on that plane. Okay, could it fly with only 310? No, it's got to be at least 310 people, 315 people. So I can say that has to be greater than, see, reading this forward to backward, or backward to forward, n is greater than or equal to 315. Okay, and there's my compound inequality to show the possible number of people on that flight. Okay, graph the solutions. Remember, this is an and inequality, so if that's an and, here's 315, here's 530. These are closed dots because they can fly with that amount of people connecting in the middle. Okay. All right, let's keep it rolling. All right, write the compound inequality shown by the graph. Okay, this is an or problem because the ors point out. So we're going to say x is less than negative 2, or, and then on this side, x is, since it's pointing to the right, it's going to be greater than. Since it's got a closed circle, it's or equal to 3. There's my solution. Okay. Number 8, use substitution to determine if 5 is a solution. Okay, there's a couple different ways we could do this. We could solve and then substitute, or just outright substitute. So I would say 5 minus 7 is less than 9. Okay, negative 2 is less than 9. Is that true? Yep. And for an and, it must meet both qualifications. So I subtract 7 to both sides. Oh, wait, I don't want to do that. Just plug in 5. Come on now. So we've got 5 plus 7 is greater than or equal to negative 2. So 12 is greater than or equal to negative 2. That checks out. So therefore, yes, 5 is a solution. The answer to my problem. All right, number 9, I've got to graph these solutions. I've got to add 5.5 over to both sides. Okay, so negative 1.5 plus 5.5. That means we've got 3, I believe. No, 4, sorry. Ooh, I better check that. We got negative 1.5. Oops, I don't need that calculator. I get this guy. 1.5. And that's negative plus 5.5. Yeah, I was right, 4. A little late here, folks. So B is, not negative B. B is greater than or equal to 4. Closed dot at 4, going to the right. Okay. I'm going to solve and graph all of these. If I forget to graph, I'm really sorry, but I'll try to remember. Let's do order change. Did I do this now? No. Oh, it's Easter. Okay. Solve the inequality. Here we go. Number 11. 11 over here. 12 on the right side. Got negative 3a plus 9 is greater than or equal to negative 3. Okay, so remember, you got the variable, and then I'm going to move everything away from the variable. So that means I do all of my addition and subtraction first. So since this is a plus 9, I've got to subtract 9 over to the other side. So negative 3a is greater than or equal to, okay, negative 3 minus 9 is negative 12. And then I divide by negative 3 to both sides, but be very, very careful this greater than or equal to must turn into a less than or equal to because I just divided by a negative. Negative 12 divided by a negative 3 is a positive 4. There's my answer. Closed circle on 4. I almost forgot to graph right there. Here's 4, closed circle, going to the left. Here's number 12. Negative y plus 10 plus 3y is greater than or equal to 2. Now remember, for these, I'm going to be combining like terms right off the bat, right? I want to combine this negative 3y and this positive 3y. Or sorry, this negative y and this positive 3y because I'm combining like terms, so I don't want to do inverse operations. I'm only working on one side of the equation, so I'm just going to combine this stuff. Negative y plus 3y is a 2y. So 2y plus 10 is greater than or equal to 2. So I subtract 10 to both sides. So 2y is greater than or equal to negative 8. And then when I divide by 2, again, I'm not going to flip the symbol here because I'm dividing by a positive, greater than or equal to negative 4. Okay, so now this is a negative 4 here and a 0 here, closed, not at negative 4, pointing to the right. Dig in the ears. I think that look good. Keep them moving. Number 13. So 13 looks like this. We got 3. X minus 4 is less than 23 minus 2x. Okay, so first things first, I've got to distribute in. 3x minus 12 is less than 23 minus 2x. And then we say, okay, which one is the little guy? The negative 2x or the positive 3x? Well, the negative 2x is the little guy. So I'm going to add 2x to both sides. So that gets me a 5x minus 12 is less than 23. I add the 12 to both sides, and that gets me a 5x is less than 35. And when I divide by 5, that gets me an x is less than 7. I'll graph that real quick. So we've got an open dot at 7 going to the right. Okay, and here's 14. Negative 4x is greater than x plus 22. Okay, now for this one, I break my get rid of the little guy rule, so I'm going to subtract x over. So I've got negative 5x is greater than 22. Now when I divide by negative 5, again, alarm bells are ringing. Divide by negative, I've got to flip the symbol, less than, and then we take 22 divided by 5. I could give it to, I could use a decimal here. Oops, I want a negative. Sorry. Negative 4.4. I could use a decimal or a fraction here. I'm just going to make a decimal because calculator just gave me decimal. Okay, so here's negative 4.4. And here's 0. Open circle going to the left. Okay, there's 14, 13, and 14. Let's keep it going. There's 15 and 16. Okay, so here's 15. We've got 10 minus 2, parentheses, x minus 3 is greater than or equal to negative 3x plus 7. Okay, first things first, I've got to distribute in this negative 2, right? So 10 minus 2x plus 6 is greater than or equal to negative 3x plus 7. Watch out there, that plus 6. Okay, that piece right in here. That's where a lot of people make their mistakes. Check that on your work there if you got this problem wrong. Okay, and why is that the case? Because it's a negative times a negative. That should turn positive. So it looks like the negative 3x is the, oops, I shouldn't do that yet. I've got to simplify the left side first. 10 and 6 makes 16 minus 2x is greater than or equal to negative 3x plus 7. Now I add the 3x over to the other side. So I get 16 is greater than, oops, plus x is greater than or equal to 7. I subtract 16 from both sides. I get x is greater than or equal to negative 9. Okay, x is greater than or equal to negative 9. If you wanted to, you could plug any number back in, any number bigger than or equal to negative 9, and it would be a solution. Closed out at negative 9 going to the right, right? So here's negative 9, here's 0, closed out at negative 9 going to the right. All right, so let's keep it moving. Here's 16. Okay. We've got 20 minus 3 parentheses x plus 5 is greater than or equal to 17 minus x. Okay, if I distribute in here, that's 20 minus 3x minus 15 is greater than or equal to 17 minus x. Now, I combine like terms. 20 minus 15 is 5. 17 minus x. And then I add the 3x over to the right side. So that's going to give me 5 is greater than or equal to 17 plus 2x. I subtract the 17 from both sides. Move it down just a little bit. I subtract the 17, I get negative 5 minus 17. 5 minus 17, negative 12 is equal to 2x. And when I divide by 2, oops. I divide by 2, I get negative 6 is greater than or equal to x, right? So flip that around, x is less than or equal to negative 6. Again, why did I flip that? That's because my preference, I like to put the variable on the left side. Here's negative 6 and here's 0. Closed out at negative 6, going to the left. Finish strong. Let's go. Oh, let's do that little Easter egg now. Okay, so on your papers, on your test, I'm trying to do this quick. You know how where it says name. Okay, if right next to your name you draw a little smiley face right next to your name. Right? So you write your name here, you put a little smiley face. I'll give you a bonus point on your test tomorrow. Thank you for watching. Okay, number 17 here. Write an inequality for the situation and then solve the inequality. Okay, so I'll just put it up here. The product of 2 and a number is at most 15. The product, okay, product means to multiply. 2 and a number is 2x. Is at most, okay, got to think about it, at most. Could it be more than 15? If it's at most 15, could it be more? No, it can't be more than 15. If it's at most 15, it could be less than or equal to 15. Okay, so there's my inequality. I solve, I divide by 2. So x is less than or equal to 7.5. Write an inequality for the following situation. Solve your inequality. Let me put 18 down here. Let me put 18 down here. Okay. The sum of a number and 4. So if a number is x, we'll say x plus 4 is less than. Okay, that is less than means actually the less than symbol. Why? Because of the word is, right? 3 times the number decreased by 6. All right, so we subtract x from both sides. I get 4 is less than 2x minus 6. I add the 6 to both sides, and that gives me a 10. 10 is less than 2x, and I divide by 2. 5, run that over. 5 is less than x, so x is greater than 5, and that's my answer. Okay. Number 19, negative 3. Actually, I'll just put it up here. I've got to add 11 first to both parts, to all parts, I guess. I shouldn't say both, there's 3. So that gives me an 8 is less than 4x is less than or equal to 16. And then when I divide by 4 to all parts, that gets me 2 is less than x is less than or equal to 4. Okay, that means an open circle at 2, a closed circle at 4, and all points in between them. This is an and inequality, so they should point in at each other. Almost done. Solving graph. I've got to subtract 3 here. So x is less than or equal to negative 5.5. Add 4. X is greater than 7. Okay, so x is less than or equal to 5.5, negative 5.5. Put in a closed circle, negative 5.5. Always label if it's not on there. Going to the left, x is greater than 7. Ooh, it's not on there. Open circle at 7, going to the right. Mrs. Williams, 2 field trips for her class. We've got the Science Center and the Dino Discovery Museum. Okay, I want to know for how many students will the Science Center charge less than the Discovery Museum. Okay, that's how I come up with that inequality. The last sentence is how I come up with my inequality. So the Science Center charges $70 plus $3 per student. We'll call S students. Actually, you know what? S's tend to look like 5s. So let's just say X is the amount of students. But the Dino Discovery Museum simply charges $5 per student. They don't have that $70 charge right at the beginning. So obviously, if I'm going with a small number of students, I'm going to go to the Dino Museum. I'm not going to go to the Science Center because I don't want to pay that $70 up front. But if I've got like 1,000 students, better go to the Science Center so I don't get that extra charge per student. All right, but I solve it, so let's see that threshold. Let's see where the cutoff is. 70 is less than 2x, and I divide by 2. I get 35 is less than x, so x is greater than 35. Okay, so that means the Science Center is going to be cheaper when x is greater than 35. So we're going to say for more than, remember, always reference the inequality, 35 students. That's the answer. All of that is the answer. Don't just put 35. Don't just put 35 students. Put more than 35 students. You have to reference this inequality as you solve your answer. Okay. Last set of problems. Barack has $200 in the bank and deposits $16 per month. John has $75 in the bank and deposits $25 per month. So obviously, John has the smaller starting amount. Barack has the bigger starting amount. For how many months will Barack have a larger bank account than John? Okay, so we get rid of the little guy. We subtract 16m. We subtract 16m. So we got 200 is greater than 75 plus 9m. We subtract 75 from both sides. We get 125 is greater than 9m. And we divide by 9. We get 125 divided by, oops, that's 8. 125 divided by 9. 13.8, repeating, 13.8 is greater than m. Flip that around, m is less than 13.8. So if I'm going to say how many months, I'm going to say 13 months or less. 13 months or less. That's how I'm going to write that. All right, which are the possible solutions for t is less than negative 6? Negative 7.2 would be a solution. 0 would not. This would not. This would. This would. Would negative 6 be a solution? No, it's not an or equal to. Negative 5 plus 16 is positive 11, and that ain't going to work. Right. So those three. All right. I hope we're having a good day. Don't forget. All right. Again, be nice to Mrs. Evans. I'll see you guys back there tomorrow. Come stop a math teacher or come early tomorrow morning, and I can help you out. Anytime would be a good time in the morning. So even if you get there at like 7:25 with your bus or whatever, come stop in and ask me some questions. If you know you have a lot of questions, get a ride and come early. I'm there at like 7 o'clock. So yeah. All right. Have a good day, everyone. See ya.